Understanding the strategic goals and the policy deployment system we have done. And now understanding the core business process. Every company will have no different process. Imagine you are manufacturing some aluminum product. You are manufacturing some aluminum product. You can correlate it to anything. Will there be a market study? Market research any company will do. Otherwise, you will develop the product, launch it, and there will be nobody to buy your product. So market research is very, very important. Even tomorrow, if all of you start your own company, the first thing you need to do is you must study the market. So how will you study the market? You will conduct a survey. You will develop a good questionnaire, isn't it? And then conduct a survey with the selected customer segment. You take a sample of your customer segment and then conduct a survey using questionnaires. And that means you will be conducting Kano analysis. Kano analysis is nothing but understanding your customer priorities. And then you may do QFD, quality function deployment. What is quality function deployment? Once customer requirements are understood, you will convert the requirements into a product. The technical specification you develop in your product should reflect the customer requirement. If the specification speaks the requirement, whatever we teach, if that speaks your requirement, then the training will be a great training, isn't it? So we teach many things, but your requirement is something else. And this is definitely a mismatch, what you call it as quality gap. So the quality gap can be minimized if you use the tool called quality function deployment. We will be teaching both, right? And now coming to the product development. What is product development? Now you understood the customer requirement, you understood your market demand. There are many things you understand by the market study, and now you go for the product development. You will be designing your product, you will be prototyping your product, then if required you will be redesigning it. Once you are satisfied, the design is approved. Now process development. Once the design is there, your product is available in papers, how will you bring it into reality? You will develop processes. Since you are going to manufacture an aluminum product, you understood that according to the design, drawing is important. What is drawing? This is not the sketch, the drawing operation. You can pull your material according to the shape required, isn't it? You can convert a sheet of metal into a cylinder, or you can convert a sheet of metal into a square, and that is called a drawing. So drawing is one process. So that means a press work. You require presses, you require drawing machines. Then once the drawing is done, some bending work is also required, is also involved. Maybe the edges you have to bend, and then only you can assemble. So the bending operation also comes according to the design. Then some holes have to be punched, and then only you can connect the parts. Hope all of you will agree with me, right? So the punching operation. And then buffing. What is buffing? Polishing your product, right? Giving a aesthetics, good aesthetics by finishing it, right? One of the operation is buffing. And then once everything is ready, all the sub components are ready, you will assemble it. Once you assemble, your product is ready for the packaging. Now it becomes the job of order fulfillment. What is order fulfillment? You receive order from the customer. Maybe some marketing team will, or the marketing or the accounts team will do this. They will receive the order. Then a production schedule will be prepared. Then the units will be manufactured, and then you prepare the shipment, and then the product reaches, and then the payment happens. Either you will receive the payment, or you will pay to your supplier. You will pay to your supplier, right? So I've written here pay to supplier. And then end of life. What is end of life? Your product is in the market for, let us say, 20 plus years, and now you developed a lot of new products. Now your old product has become completely obsolete. What will happen? Automatically the market will go down. Like Maruti 800 was stopped right now. Maruti is no more manufacturing Maruti 800. Why? The market has gone down. So they decided to end the life of the product. So you decide the sunset date. What is sunset date? The date, a particular date beyond which the product will not be available in the market. So that was decided by you. And then the buy-in for the decision is arrived. You can even take the customer opinion, you can take the stakeholders opinion, the top management opinion, everyone's opinion. If everybody feels yes, the decision is correct, Then you communicate the end of life to all your customer. The newses will be flashed in the newspaper and other media. So customers come to know the product will no more be available. Only the some support will be available for few other months. Like the Windows has stopped, the what do you call the their software certain versions. Now only the latest versions are available, right? So now I have put the payment to suppliers as in yellow color. Why did I put it in yellow color? You are experiencing problem here. Your company is experiencing problem here. Maybe you are not receiving payment on time, or payment to your suppliers are not happening on time. If payments to suppliers are not happening on time, do you think they will still supply the raw materials? They will stop supplying.
No.
And if the raw material supply is stopped, then your what do you call the production will get affected. There are many consequences. Now this becomes an important focus item. Now correcting your supplier payment procedure becomes the need of the hour. Now that creates an opportunity for improvement. Do you all understand? Same way, problem can be from any one of these rectangle, and you must have an idea. You should have an idea of how many rectangles are there in your organization, and what are all the rectangles coming under your responsibility. If this yellow color rectangle is yours, then that becomes your project opportunity. So once you understand this is your opportunity, you must visualize that further. What is that? Supplier payment process. This is a flow chart. What is this flow chart? Process flow chart. How is that process currently happening right now in your organization? Whenever a payment note comes to the concerned team, they retrieve the invoice. They ensure the invoice compliance, whether tax, billing name, date, item quantity, everything is proper or not. Once everything is proper, they will ensure the supplier details. Who has actually supplied? Whether the supplier is already in our vendor list, whether the account details, everything are updated. And then they will validate the signature, whether payment can be released or not, right? Some procedure will be there. And then they will make the payment. Maybe some IFSC or some payment online transfer is done. And then the payment note will be communicated to the supplier. And now, in spite of you having this procedure, what happens? Still, payment to the supplier is a problem in your company. So this procedure of steps requires some improvement. What is this called? Process improvement. When I improve the process, the failures can no more continue. So this again, now I understand a process improvement is required. This is also a project opportunity. Now this process is a repeatable process. Can I say this is repeatable? So repeatable, and moreover, why we are not paying to the supplier on time? Because it depends on many things. That is what is written here. So definitely this is a y variable. The x variables you are seeing here, the steps, right? And now correct the particular step which is causing the delay, the particular step which is creating the failure, that needs to be improved. Whether it is retrieval invoice is taking more time, or ensuring the compliance is taking more time, or making the payment is taking more time, that becomes the bottleneck. Make necessary changes, you will be able to solve the problem. Hope the understanding on the core business process also made very clear. Now, project identification selection process. So having got all the idea, now how will you actually identify the project? As I told you already, maybe sponsor may not participate in this, because sponsor is generally the top management, maybe the CEO or the managing director of the company. So he will assign one person. That one person is called the project champion. He will liaison between the project sponsor and the Six Sigma project team. There could be many Six Sigma project team. He will liaison. One champion will be assigned to each and every project. So the champions, master black belts and black belts, all of them will follow a structured method for identifying, prioritizing, and selecting Lean Six Sigma projects. A typical project identification we'll see. The first step is, again, as we discussed, all the strategic plans of the company, the goals of the company, and the targets. See, goal is an objective. Target is has a numerical value.
लेट जाइए.
Goal is an objective, a subjective statement. However, target will have a numerical value. We'll see that towards the end of the slide. And then you will compare the targeted value and the actual value. You have a plan, you have the target, and now you look at the actual value at the organization level, whether the goals has a gap or not, goals and the targets has a gap or not, department level, even at the functional level, because your department can also have different functions, and then the gap is understood. Now you will identify the level 1 and level 2 process and the work steps. I have shown you the level 1 also. What is level 1? Starting from market study, manufacturing the product, and then till end of life. That is level 1. And what is level 2? No, under each and every level 1, you have so many steps. Then what are work steps? For the payment of suppliers, I have shown you the work steps, right? You should know that. And then wherever that yellow color exists, the problem exists, the failure frequently happens, that for such projects will be selected. Then you will have a brainstorming session, and then you will rank the project. Then you prioritize the project. Once the prioritization is done, you can select the project. So step number 1 and step number 2 I explained, but we will also teach you, Pareto as well as project prioritization metrics, so that you can do this stuff properly, the step number 2. Now, what is a goal? Let us understand the difference between goal, KPI, target, and metric. Often we use these terms and then confuse, with each other. So goals are nothing but the objectives. For example, let me set a personal goal. I want to improve my health. When I want to improve my health, I need several KPIs. When I want to improve my health, does it mean I want to I want to reduce my sugar level, or I want to reduce my cholesterol level, or I want to improve my BMI index, or I want to change the color of my face, or I want to reduce my weight? So goals is subjective. So now what I do is I identify KPI. Now, one of the KPI, there could be several KPIs for each goal. When I say health, KPIs will be many more, isn't it? One of the KPI I'm listing here, my sugar level, 3 months average. Is it a good metric? Definitely, right? HB1AC. The HB1AC can immediately help me understand whether I am progressing towards my goal or not, right? So if you see a number and if you can immediately understand how far is your goal is, then that number is KPI. Otherwise, the number is simply a metric. All KPIs are metrics, but all metrics are not KPIs. The moment you see the number, you should be able to understand your position with respect to the target. Whether you are going towards the goal or not, KPI will speak, but metric cannot speak. And now target. For every KPI, for every metric, you will assign a numerical value. For example, HB1AC, if it becomes 6 or below, now you are non-diabetic. You are legally non-diabetic. So this is your target. A metric is a numerical value that can impact your KPI. What are your KPIs as far as the sugar levels are concerned? The calories you consume, the workouts you do, maybe the number of steps you walk, and then your sleeping time, how many hours you sleep every day. So likewise, you can identify. Same way in your process, there will be so many metrics. Your process input, your process parameters are nothing but the metrics, isn't it? So the knowledge on goal, KPI, target, and metric is also very important. Now moving on, voice of customer and why